Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. I know I'm a little late to this one, but I figured I'll throw it out there anyways. I'll just do a should you pull for Sice. I know it's after the banner dropped. I guess the good part is I can actually show the banner. Normally I just show the characters in my box. But I have had some people like commenting on posts like asking if they should pull for her or not. So I figured I'll just do a little video on it quick. And then I'm like really behind, so I'm going to try to get a lot of videos done today. I noticed I don't have a character guide on the twins and I don't have one on 8. So I will probably try to do those as well. And I am going to do a new character guide for Sice. My recommendation overall, I'll just say right up front, is probably to skip these banners. But there are a couple of reasons maybe you'd want to pull. So let me just talk about the characters first, and then we'll kind of go through that. So there's two separate banners. Basically, both banners are the same. It's just one has Twins BT and one has Penelo BT. Now, if you haven't gotten Penelo BT, that would definitely be a reason to pull. I believe Sice is the last banner that you're going to be able to get Penelo BT. I believe Ash is coming up next. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what the order was, right? So this would be, I think, your last chance to actually pull for Penelo BT. So if you kind of like Sice and you hear what I say about her and maybe you watch the guide on her later and you like her, then this could be a reason to pull as if you want Penelo BT, right? But let's talk about these characters. So on the banner, we have the twins, and we have 8. Now, 8, I believe, is just returning. I don't think he's getting any kind of rework. 8 is a very cool character. He is a character that, I would say he's a good budget character that you can get a lot done with. He is one of these evade counter tanks, and he does actually put up pretty darn good counter damage. So if you have Rydia's FR and you like the dodge team comps, 8 actually works really, really well there. For the average player, though, 8 definitely isn't a character you should like go really heavy for here. He's a character I would say that if you like other things on the banner and you get him on the side, he is worth building because once again, I think he is a very good budget character because of his very strong dodge counters, right? Then we have twins. The problem with the twins, like when they first got their BT, their big thing was they did like insane AoE damage. Like they were by far like the biggest AoE damage dealer in the game. And basically that's kind of still their role, is to do really big AoE damage. The problem is they have way more competition now. And I believe that, you know, you could, if you already have Rinoa, like you're going to be fine. If you've got Penelo, like you're going to be fine. And other than that, I mean, they've got multiple elements in their kit, which can be a good thing and a bad thing, right? But they're just kind of a generic AoE damage dealer. And the one bad part about twins is, and I'll look at the rework here. I'm going to do a showcase on them. We'll see if their single target damage has improved. But from what I remember from them, their single target damage was terrible. Like if you're only fighting one enemy, they were basically unusable. So if you go in for twins, you're basically getting a character that gets locked out of some fights. Now, most fights do have at least 2 enemies, but there are some single target ones that basically they're just going to be worthless because they won't do enough damage. Now, maybe they fix that in their rework. I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm going to do a new character guide on them and we'll take a look at it. And so if you're on the fence about twins and you kind of like them and want to try them out, just watch my new character guide. I'm going to put one up hopefully today. And you can see if you like their damage or not, but just think of them as basically an AoE damage dealer with a lot of elements. That's pretty much what they are, and I just feel like there's too much competition for what they're doing, that they really aren't needed, right? Then we have Sice. Now, Sice is a pretty cool character. I would say she's comparable to Jessie in some ways in that I see her as a slot 3 utility type character. She does share delay, which Jessie also does. Sice has a couple of other unique things. She also has evade, which is really cool, so dodging can be a thing that she can do. She can help in a Rydia comp because she can provide her own dodge if you want to do that. But probably Sice's biggest draw is her LD trap. So she has a Dark Tornado LD trap. Basically, you press her LD, you put a trap debuff on the enemies, and it's a heavy, like, 15 turns. Like, that's a huge duration, right? Now, you would think with a 15-turn debuff that it would basically never run out, but the way her trap operates is that anytime... So her trap will literally trigger every turn. Whether you attack or not, like, every action, it will trigger. And the thing is whenever the trap triggers, it's kind of like Aces, where it ticks down. So basically, you get 15 actions of the trap. So it's not necessarily 15 enemy turns, because that would be bananas. It would last forever. It's 15 actions. That's why they give it such a high turn count. But I do like that because... And basically, they were really smart to kind of like, you know, make Penelo the anniversary and kind of stick her in with Sice here, because Penelo actually combos really well with Sice. It's kind of like if you guys saw my spear drop-in video where we have Kain and Freya up in the air. Sice is kind of going to work the same way, where Penelo can be ramping and her Dark Tornadoes are just going to be flying, right? The other thing I'm going to showcase with her is, and a reason why you might want to pull for her is if you really like using Laguna. She's pretty abusable with Laguna because Laguna has a very powerful golden debuff trap, who his does not tick down when it goes. So it's only like a 4-turn duration, which is short. But if you combo a lot of speedy damage dealers or instant turn characters, you can get a lot of hits on that. The thing is Laguna's trap only triggers when you deal HP damage, so you can't abuse that with Penelo. However, it has a unique interaction with Sice's trap, where Sice's trap will actually trigger Laguna's trap. So I'm probably, one of my Shinryu runs, I think what I want to do is I want to do a Sice Laguna Penelo run. I think I want to do that. I think that'll be a really fun run to show you guys. I might do that for the regular Shinryu, because the Dare to Defy I've already used Penelo. I could maybe do it with Hope or something, though. Maybe I'll do it with Hope instead, just to do it on the Dare to Defy side. But what happens is Sice's tornadoes can trigger just on instant turn rate abilities that don't necessarily attack. So like Penelo's regen waltz, right? You could just spam that. Dark tornadoes are going to be flying. Dark tornadoes are going to trigger Laguna's traps. So you're getting double traps, and Laguna's won't run out. So you essentially have 15 actions where you can have Sice's trap go and then get Laguna's trap triggered at the same time. Can actually deal out a bunch of damage, right? So that is a nasty combo you can do. So if that sounds interesting to you, like you want to do that, you definitely could do that. The other thing I should mention about Sice is she is a dark damage dealer. And dark damage dealers, I would say, aren't the most plentiful character in the game. So if you're lacking a good dark damage dealer, you could definitely pick her up. Now, my plan and what I've been telling people is that I'm skipping the banner. I actually didn't even do a pull video because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to skip. Well, I was looking at her today and I'm like, oh, I blued her armor. So it's like, well, I already invested in, you guys know, this is like one of the biggest things people complain about is not enough blue armor materials and BT materials. Those are the two. Since I invested the blue armor materials, I'm like, well, I better full invest her just because I've already gone that deep on her. So I did end up just ticket pulling off camera. I think I did like 200, 250 tickets to get an FR. And then I actually had like 13 high power stones, so I could just max it straight out. And I have plenty of 4 stones right now. So yeah, I maxed her out. So she's blue. So we will do a maxed Sice showcase here coming up later today. So anyways, guys, my overall recommendation is probably this is a skip for most players, right? It's only if you really like how her trap interaction, you want to abuse it with characters like Laguna and Penelo, and you like that idea. And she does have dodge and delay, as I mentioned earlier. Somebody asked if she works well with Jessie, and to me, it's kind of like she's okay. I mean, she works well with Jessie in that they both delay, and so you can like really delay a lot more by having multiple delay characters. But kind of what I told this person in the comments is I see them both as slot 3 utility characters. So what that's going to do is if you run Penelo in that squad, and it's Penelo, Sice, and Jessie, I think that team would work fine because Penelo's going to cover your main DPS, your main support roles. But otherwise, you're left with either choosing a main support to go with Jessie and Sice, and then you're going to be lacking damage a little bit, or you go with a main DPS, but you might be lacking a little bit of support. It's not that it can't work, right? It's just when we talk about optimal team building, I don't think Jessie and Sice on the same team, unless it's a fight specifically where you're doing like a full delay team. It might take you a little bit longer, but then you just are no turning. Sure, you could do that for sure. So anyways, guys, I don't think you guys should summon on this for the average player, but if you like her, go for her. Always go for favorites. Let me know what you think of Sice, and I look forward to a character guide coming out later today. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.